So the global servers for Throne of Liberty are back online, and we just received an official statement from the developers as to exactly what happened. As a result of this disruption, they're also giving out some pretty generous compensation. Be sure to check your mail and go ahead and claim it. However, this update didn't appear to fix everything. A lot of players are reporting that they are now missing Lucent, even some of their accounts being in the negative here, despite them not having anything to do with this guild. So it ultimately appears they did not do this perfectly. All I can really say, if you are one of these effective players where you are missing a ton of Lucent, go and contact customer support, as they will have to have a closer look at your account. But I want to give some further details on this actual issue with regards to siege rewards, a guild obtaining an unintended amount of Lucent, and then pretty much destroying the economy. You can see here is the exact screenshot evidence of where the guild was given by the game over 12.9 billion Lucent. I'm assuming these numbers are supposed to be switched, so AGS customer support clearly messed up. The guild leaders decided they would distribute all this Lucent to the 69 players, giving them a whopping 187 million Lucent each. This completely destroys the economy, as all of a sudden there's over 12.9 billion to go around. Everybody gets a ton richer and prices skyrocket. So that's indeed exactly what happened. And it created an absolute mess that the devs then had to clean up. So yes, you can argue it's not the entire fault of AGS. They are the ones who deposited over 12.9 billion Lucent in a guild's repository, but it was the decision of the leader to distribute that between the players. And then the players log in, they're like, ooh, I'm rich. And then some of them are not going to be very clued in and just immediately start spending it. But ultimately, AGS has decided they will ban and permanently ban anyone who spent any of that 12.9 billion Lucent. To me, it seems a little bit rough, but yes, this would be the kind of response you get if $1 million suddenly showed up in your account and then you immediately spent it all without asking where that came from and was it intended. There are, of course, going to be some naive people getting caught in the crossfire, and that is rather unfortunate. I have heard that anybody who did get given all this Lucent but then didn't go and spend it due to whatever reason, maybe they even weren't online, that those players didn't get sanctioned. There is a lesser sanction to some players who took advantage of all these prices and listing items ridiculously high, getting them sold, and then spending that Lucent on other things. As far as I'm aware, those people got temporary suspensions. Players who were a part of the guild and did not claim the Lucent from the mail, you can see the devs have just put their account into negative Lucent so they can still claim from the mail that 187 million, but it will just calculate out to the value that I'm guessing it should be before this disaster happened. So this guy should have like 16,000 Lucent, but this guy for some reason will have over negative 200. So I definitely question the situation, especially because some players still seem to have all those items that they actually purchased. Like this guy crafting multiple upgrades of his Tevent's fangs, but that could indeed be legit. But there are other cases, like this guy. Before it all happened, he had over 800 Lucent, and now he logs in and he has minus 777. And there are other reports too. Even this guy on EU who appears to be missing Lucent. And this guy too put into negative 3,000. Kind of a big deal. I see what you done there. But ultimately, I assume these smaller case issues, I'm not aware how prevalent it is, should get solved by customer support if you contact them. Personally, I was not really affected by this, other than the fact my Tevent 1 did sell over 11,000. I didn't really expect it to sell because the price was down as low as 8,000, 7,000. I just had it listed along with my orb and wasn't really expecting to sell them. You can see the prices here before this happened, and all of a sudden they went over 26,000. But they have since dropped down. And that could very well be due to some Lucent spilling over to the EU server and people buying up the stock quickly. So I definitely don't think the devs done a perfect job here. You can of course leave your story in the comment section below if you ran into any weird issues, and if you have been put into negative Lucent where you believe you shouldn't be. Again, go ahead and contact customer support. The main way is on the website. You go player support here, and it may not look like you can contact them because it just gives you all these menus which just shows you lists of pages that walk you through steps that could potentially fix your issue. You need to go to this chatbot here, and you need to ask this chatbot to open you a ticket. And once you have that ticket open, then you should be able to go and view your ticket as long as you're logged in. You also need to be logged in to be able to open a ticket with the chatbot. Like I can log in through Steam here, and now it will show my support tickets here, which I've never opened any. It also does show my chat history here. You can see I ask him to open a ticket, and then it will ask you a bunch of questions. I would say it's very irresponsible of the game company to have customer support set up in a way that this could ever happen. There should be limitations and restrictions and double checks, especially surrounding Lucent, as it is vital for the game's economy. Because imagine they left all that Lucent in the game, buying 6,000 for €100 would just feel like a scam when everybody's sitting around with millions. And all the prices on the auction house would also be in the millions. So you'd never be able to catch up or buy anything if you wanted to by paying real world money. So there would be literally no point in doing that. You would just go and try sell items to those guys and then get your millions to be able to spend. And the economy would ultimately be no different, other than buying Lucent with real world money would be a complete scam. The economy and the prices will always balance out based on how much Lucent is going around. Supply and demand. The more money people have, the more everything's gonna cost. Exactly like inflation in the real world. Again, this is exactly what's happened here due to customer support messing up and giving in a guild over 12.9 billion. How many of you would have decided immediately to go to support and ask what's the question, or have had some fun with it? Thanks all for watching. A special thank you to all my channel members, and I'll see you guys around.